Hey guys, okay, so this is going to be clues from season 1, episodes 10 through 16. I'm really progressing. Like I said in my other video, I believe it was 6 and 7, yeah. So if you're just looking to kind of just watch certain episodes, 6 and 7 are full of what I think are clues. And episodes 10 is like literally almost this whole page is all clues I got from episode 10. So I think 10 and even 14 are must watches. Okay. So episode 10 Ian becomes the new field hockey coach, but we know that Allison was killed by a field hockey stick. That's why Spencer's been suspicious. It's Mona's birthday, so there's the Camp Mona. There's an A message for them to try to find A at the party. We find out that Ian kissed Spencer in the past. Noel and Arya are an item. The FBI comes to interview the girls. They say that Allison likes secrets, and she thought that they kept them close, which I don't know if it's a clue or I don't know. It makes sense, I guess. Poetry. So then Arya gets the poetry book in her, or the journal in her locker, and it's a poem that Ezra wrote about her. Noel sees it, but then you see, which is funny, I think, because then it flashes to Ezra, and then he's actually teaching poetry in class. So it's like an A thing, and then he's teaching that in class. So is that a clue? I don't know. Because he saw Arya with Noel, Ezra did, and then all of a sudden that's in her locker, and then you go to his class and he's teaching poetry. I don't know. So then Arya has lunch with her mother. She's been dodging her, and her mother says people are like dolls. We can't play with them and put them back in a box. Which a lot of people have used that as a clue that Arya is part of the A team, because then I haven't seen it yet in 16 episodes, but I know it's coming where the dolls start appearing at the end of the A appearances at the end of the episodes. There's an A message to Arya, and then immediately right after she gets that, she gets a text from Ezra. Jenna has one of the same bracelets that the girls had with their name on it that they got from Allison. So was Jenna and Allison, were they really friends? I mean, I've explored that in the last one. I don't know. I mean, this Jenna thing, if you really want some clarification on that, or kind of understand where it came from, then rewatch season 1, because I'm seeing a lot of Jenna connections. Something about looking for me in all the wrong places. Oh, that was in one of the messages. You're looking for me in all the wrong places. The black hoodie thing starts because this is when Hannah ends up getting run over. We see Noel at the party says it was supposed to be a joke. He's in a black hoodie. Ezra and Arya get caught kissing. They try to find the tree, and it says Allison loves Ian on it, so they know that the Ian thing. Ian was supposedly the guy, and when Hannah says she knows who A is, then she gets run over. Episode 11, Mona comes and visits Hannah. She's very suspicious the way that she acts. We discover, Toby is an A. I have a list. I started it of who we think A is, it goes through. So, Noel knows about Ezra and Arya. He starts trying to blackmail him into getting better grades. A visits Hannah, the I'm sorry message on her cast. Emily comes out in this episode. Ian and Melissa elope, and I never realized this to now, but it happened on Gossip Girl, so that's why I noticed that Chuck and Blair had to get married because of the privilege that if you're married, you don't have to testify against your spouse. And it totally makes sense that Melissa and Ian get married, because obviously Melissa knows something about that time, with Allison and Ian. So they elope and discover that's their way for them not to have to testify against each other. And then Emily says something about A has a split personality, and I've said in the last video, I noticed that Ezra can really snap. His moods are very wide, so I don't know if that's a clue or not. Episode 12, it's the Ezra Noel showdown. He asks for a grade change, tries to blackmail him. We find out that Lucas destroyed the memorial. We see a bad side to Lucas, and he really shows that he hated Allison, which makes sense because he ends up being in the A-team and such, and it totally makes sense. And then we see Ian's golf bag, which has the Hilton head, which is where Allison was, and we discovered that they were on vacation together or in the same place. Episode 13, Spencer tries to listen in on Melissa and Ian. A makes fun of Hannah. That's when they go through all the cupcakes and everything, and then magically she's sitting out there in front of the cupcake place. She has to eat all 6 cupcakes, and Arya appears, which I've said before in other just random thoughts videos, that makes Arya look very suspicious. Ezra's about to be caught, and then somehow Noel is planted with tests in his locker, and he gets suspended. And episode 14, that's when we meet Caleb. Now, Caleb is introduced as the guy that does all these things on your phones, and I don't know why I never really suspected this before, but could Caleb be like a part of the A-team? I mean, he knows how to manipulate phones and computers, and they randomly get unknown messages, and I don't know, it makes me suspicious of Caleb now, just rewatching it now. Then Arya's friend Simone comes to visit. They're having a dance marathon, like dance or whatever at school of this episode. She goes on a date with Ezra. Arya gets upset. Simone talks about how Arya used to love puppets. And then remember further on when they had the carnival, I think it was last season, where they had like the puppet show. Caleb catches Spencer trying to get into the desk, and he goes on about this rant about these girls and rich girls and pretty girls and da-da-da, and it makes him even more suspicious to be a part of the A-team. Emily mentions Hannah is doing to Lucas what Allie did to her. So we see that connection of Allie and Hannah, and it's really creepy if you really look at Hannah and Allison. I mean, they're very similar looking. Episode 15, Paige is introduced. Hannah sends that ticket to Arya's mom, and they're about to get caught. And then Caleb apparently pulls the kill switch from her car. The same bracelet that, I should have mentioned this in the last episode. I don't know, it was from this episode. Paige gave everyone on the swim team a bracelet, and it looks exactly like the ones that Allison gave them. So Spencer goes on a hunt to find out who purchased these from the place where they got them, and the old lady says that Spencer Hastings purchased both of them. We see a Spencer-Ellie confrontation, very like direct. She pretty much said, if you don't tell about Ian, I think it's obvious because she was with Ian, she was ticked off that Spencer was like kissing her boyfriend on the side. So we see that confrontation and that anger, and we find out that Spencer followed her the night she died, which makes her more suspicious. And then A visits the same lady and she says, oh, well, I did exactly what you told me to. And she talks about how their eyes are so pretty and enchanting. So it's like the beginning of that whole eyes thing. And then episode 16 had hardly anything. We see somebody's living in the library. We think it's A, it's Caleb, but is there a connection? Maybe. And then it makes him more suspicious, to be honest. Episode 16, there really was nothing. It's when Caleb starts living, he starts to stay at Hannah's house, and it's kind of when their relationship is going to take off. So that is episodes 10 through 16. I'm going to get back to watching. Bye.